Hello, Nigeria, and thanks for joining us on Newsline today. Well, I will not be letting the cat out. Claire will be doing that. Claire, over to you.
Thank you, Lizzie, and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another an hour and a half on Newsline, your regular tonic for the rest of your Sunday evening. And of course, your e-pass through the currents of Nigeria and beyond. I am Claire Adelabu Abdurrazak, your pilot for tonight. So let's get started. As Mother Nature continues to assert its presence with the rains leaving their mark across the country, Newsline tonight stands in solidarity with those affected by the tragic building collapse in Jos and Kubwa, but particularly with the families and loved ones grappling with heartbreaking loss of their children. So amidst these challenges, Newsline would also turn its gaze to Maiduguri's resilient iconic structures, marveling at how they stand strong amidst today's technology boom. And speaking of technology, we will also talk about using it wisely. We will explore its perks and pitfalls, reminding ourselves to tread carefully in this digital age. So Nigerian women, dead or alive, continue to impact and shape the course of our collective history. And so Newsline tonight, we will celebrate a remarkable Nigerian woman, fondly known as Iyoloja General, whose love and legacy still evokes tearful emotions. And tonight, I'm particularly excited to share the enduring impact of the NYSC scheme. Now, as someone who has seen firsthand how NYSC fosters national unity and empowers our youth, I can attest to its profound influence on individuals and communities across Nigeria. And on a nostalgic note, we will also revisit our national anthem, Nigeria, We Hail Thee. It's back in the spotlight, and we will discuss it, why it still matters today, why it's resonating, and there's so much more that meets the eye on today's Newsline. So let's buckle up, because unless you hold on to your seats, this pilot, that's me, might just fly without you, and you don't want to be left behind. So now let's join Elizabeth Omori for the news headline. Lizzie, since you went around, when the national anthem was last used, have you discovered a resilient strength in those lyrics?
Of course, Claire, the lyrics actually, they speak. And I could recall some time ago when for an event, and we were asked to recite the national anthem, that all the persons there actually won the trophy. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
I can imagine.
Thank you for joining us on the news segment. We begin with quite a cheerful news that National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu has handed over rescued Kaduna journalists and their families to the Minister of Information and National Orientation in its office in Abuja. They were handed over after undergoing post-trauma examination in the office of the National Security Advisor.
I want to formally hand them over to you, Honorable Minister of Information. And just like many others we have done in the past, it has been a continuation of efforts of all the security agencies. And we hope and pray that time will come when we will be able to overcome this terrible thing happening to us as people. We want to assure you and assure Nigerians that we are working. It's a matter of time. It will come to an end.
Information and Orientation Minister appeals to Nigerians to keep faith with the Tinubu administration, assuring that all kidnapped persons will be brought home safely.
I want to reiterate that this is part of the ongoing effort that the NSA is doing to bring back people who have been taken into custody without paying ransom. This is part of the desire of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is the mandate given to them to ensure that all those who are kidnapped, security agencies are at their best, using new tactical methods to ensure that these kidnapped victims are brought back to their homes, to their families in safety.
We want to tell Nigerians that with the support of every citizen, the government can actually do this. I never thought that within a week of our kidnap, even though it was torturous, it was painful in there, but even the bandits themselves were saying that they were surprised that we have to go just within a week of our kidnap. So we are grateful that the government swung into action after the call by all the people that matter for intervention, and we are grateful to the boot on ground, to the team that did the job.
The rescued journalists and their families were kidnapped from their homes in Kaduna about a week ago. To air surveillance and security. In line with President Bola Tinubu's directive to enhance air safety and security in Nigeria, a delegation led by the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badr Abubakar, and the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, are currently in Spain for engagement on airspace development. A statement by the Ministry of Defense says the visit to Indra in Spain aims at strengthening Nigeria's surveillance and security capabilities through cutting-edge dual-use technology. A bit on the foreign scene, security operatives in the United States neutralized 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, who was alleged to have carried out an assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump at a campaign rally. Musa Babali brings us details.
Take a look at what happened.
That was the moment the presidential candidate and former president of the United States escaped a flying bullet during his campaign rally. He was hit in his ear before he was rushed out of the crowd. The shooter and a bystander were killed and 2 spectators critically injured. The U.S. Secret Service said that the shooter fired multiple shots towards the stage from an elevated position outside the rally before being neutralized by agents.
This evening we had what we're calling an assassination attempt against our former president, Donald Trump. It's still an active crime scene. As I mentioned, we have a number of agents on scene. We also are working closely with other federal agencies, our state partners, and our local police partners as well.
President Joe Biden cut short a weekend trip to his Delaware beach house to return to Washington. He received an updated briefing from security officials on Sunday morning.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this.
The Republican candidate was treated at an undisclosed facility and later seen walking unaided from his plane. The attack sent shock waves around the world, with the leaders of Britain, Israel, China, and many other countries expressing outrage. U.S. political figures, including former President Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, lined up to condemn the attack. The United States has a history of political violence. President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in 1963, and his brother Bobby Kennedy was shot dead in 1968. President Ronald Reagan survived an assassination attempt in 1981. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Intercepting close to 20,000 litres of petrol within 3 days is a feat which the Special Task Force, codenamed Operation Whirlwind, has vowed to sustain simply because of the huge economic loss the diversion of such volume would have cost the nation. As a way of cutting the supply chain, the national coordinator of the unit, Hussein Ejibunu, said the operation of the team will soon be extended across border lines. Michael Olale brings us details.
Worried by the trend in which petroleum products already subsidized are diverted to neighboring countries, thereby incurring huge financial loss for the country, Operation Whirlwind Task Force team was set up to defend the national currency while reducing pressure on domestic demand. These 750 jerry cans of petrol are products of 3 days of extensive operations propelled by intelligence sharing and desire to nip bunkering in the bud.
Like Ijong, it was intercepted where somebody passed a nozzle underground across to the next building, and they were there doing their normal business.
For the customs, the success is not just about intercepting the commodity, but ensuring that the proceeds of such crime are not allowed to cross the border.
We have already succeeded in cutting the supply chain out, in the sense that, for instance, in Adamawa, before we got to Adamawa, fuel was selling for 950, but with our operations there, price fell to 690.
As a way of sustaining the successes achieved by the anti-bunkering operation, the unit says it will heighten surveillance across the 20 borders in the country while assuring that perpetrators have a date with the courts. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Still on interception, operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency intercepted various quantities of cocaine and opioids concealed in soles of shoes, clothes and other items heading to the United States, United Kingdom and Cyprus via some courier firms in Lagos. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim brings us details.
No less than 250 grams of cocaine going to Cyprus was hidden in soles of custom-made shoes. More than 5 kilograms of opioids heading to the US and United Kingdom were discovered by NDLEA officers in clothes and other household items meant to be shipped through some courier firms in Lagos. Following credible intelligence, NDLEA operatives in Edo State on Wednesday, 10th July, intercepted a vehicle at Isan Central Local Government Area. A 30-year-old man was searched and was found with custard containers where 3,000 pills of tramadol were buried in the custard powder. In another operation, at least 2,455 kilograms of materials for the production of akuskura, a new psychoactive substance, were recovered from a warehouse in Konduga town, Konduga local government area of Borno State on Thursday, 9th July, when NDLEA operatives in a joint operation with men of the Nigerian army raided the area. The following day, Wednesday, 10th July, in Lagos, raided a warehouse in Lekki where they recovered 148 cartons of non-medical nitro oxide, popularly called laughing gas. A female suspect was arrested in connection with the seizure. With the same zeal, commands and formations of the agency across the country continued with their war against drug abuse, with sensitization activities, seizures and arrests. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Away from drug interception, the Africa Legends of Arts Management, Politics, Science, Sports and Security LAMS Awards, alongside other stakeholders, are set to organize a platform in order to identify and honor worthy men and women in Africa. President of the Africa LAMS Awards, Shino Phillips, during a chat with editors, stressed the importance of partnering the media to celebrate Africa's high achievers in key areas of human endeavors. Adejoke Odeka tells us more.
Members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm being equipped with information on the task ahead of them, which is being part of the process of projecting the rich human capital resources and positive contributions to humanity. President of Africa LAMS Awards says incorporating the media in the awards process is pivotal.
The media play a major role in human development, aside reportage. We see that there's a huge place of partnership with the media, and with this particular award, we are partnering with the Guild of Editors.
The award will honor winners in 14 different categories. The Africa's Media House of the Year, the African Music Personality of the Year, African CEO of the Year, amongst others.
Media has two slots there. Media Practitioner of the Year or whatever in the award. So that brings me into it. And once I'm in it, I will see that the process is fair.
With this credible initiative, the Africa Lamps Awards, which has been in existence since 2014, aims to become a major global attraction so as to inspire winners to have a higher level of commitment and professionalism. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
In another development, President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Dr. Mainasara Umar Kogo as Chairman Code of Conduct Tribunal. Dr. Kogo is a seasoned lawyer and analyst in the fields of law, security, economy, politics, and international diplomacy. The president anticipates professionalism, integrity, and fidelity to the nation in the discharge of the functions of the office. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu extends his congratulations to Prince Onduka Obiagbena CON on the occasion of his 65th birthday. The president notes the enterprising spirit of the former president of the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, who founded This Week magazine and later This Day newspapers, Arise magazine and Arise News channel. The president praised for greater achievements for the renowned publisher. Now, beyond experiencing long-lasting fragrance, active foaming power, and superior color protection, one of Nigeria's leading detergents, Good Mama, is not just changing the market space across the country to a fashion walkway, but equally rewarding patronage with cash prizes worth millions of naira through the Niger Queen Open Market Fashion Show. The manufacturer of the pocket-friendly product, Eco Supreme Resources Nigeria Limited, says the campaign is to deepen customer connection while engaging stakeholders in their everyday activities. Diana Ajale reports that more than 10 million naira is up for grabs for participating women as the campaign kicks off in Lagos.
This is the popular Ikotun Central Market. On this day, the women are elegantly dressed, ready for a spectacular and rare event, a fashion show. The Good Mama Niger Queen Open Market Fashion Show engaged the women in unusual tasks like best dressed, hair tie style competition, coveted Slay Mama and Slay Queen titles, among others. And of course, the women did not regret participating, as every moment counts, with lots of giveaway prizes.
Congratulations, ma'am! I won best dressed, the Slay Queen, and the display and win.
Good Mama, I appreciate you, I thank you, and you continue to excel.
Good Mama is very good. It makes my clothes to shine, does it pay hand.
I love the fact that you're coming out to the market, spreading happiness, empowering our women and men out there, making them happy.
For Eco Supreme Resources Nigeria Limited, a leading home and personal care company, the campaign is celebrating Nigerian fashion while highlighting the uniqueness of the various fragrances of Good Mama detergents.
We have Flora, Lemon, and Diamond. And the three variants are actually set apart in the market or outside other brands is that, first of all, the ability to wash dirt very fast.
For a change this time around to say, how about look at that consumer whom we see every day, we can make them shine. Let's bring a fashion show to them in their business place.
Open Market Show is one thing that we as a brand have seen as an opportunity to connect, reward, and also recruit.
The event, hosted by popular influencer Fola Gade Banks, also known as Mama Diola, will be making a stop at different market locations in Oyo, Kwara, and Ogun State, having kicked off in Lagos on July 8th. Diana Ajale, NTA News.
It is a general consensus that the family is the first training ground for the laying of a sound foundation that would inculcate moral values in the young ones for a better society. This was stressed by personalities at the ground wedding of the son and daughter of Emir of Azara, Dr. Kabir Musa Ibrahim, recently, that attracted Nigerians irrespective of religion, ethnicity, tribe, or creed. Chimdema Undubisi reports that His Royal Highness King Apollos II, the Honor and Incha X of Eleme Kingdom in Rivers State, was part of guests at one of the ceremonies that took place at the Emir of Lafia's Palace in Nasarawa State.
A clear sky for a rainy season. The elements seem to be in consonance with the occasion of the day. Gates of the Lafia Emirate wide open to welcome guests, including top government functionaries and royalty from far and near, who came to witness the wedding Fatiha of Emir of Azara's son. One outstanding guest here is the Honor Nchia X, His Royal Highness King Apollos II, who, though is still mourning his late wife, came all the way from the south to be part of the ceremony. Known as a detribalized Nigerian, our peace ambassador, bridge builder, preacher of religious tolerance and national integration, his presence is all statements of solidarity, oneness of the traditional institution, friendship and brotherhood.
They are always with me in the times of my anything I am doing, any event I am doing. Distance does not count where there's love and where there's good intimacy in relationship. I'm part of their family the same way it's a part of my family. That's why we have to share when there's a celebration, share with them. When there's a bitterness, we work together. Also wishing the children a wonderful marriage and a tolerance and patience and a hard working and prayer for each other.
Father of the Emirate, the Emir of Lafia, gave out the bride's hand in marriage.
We are sure that it's going to be a very good relationship between the two. But we pray that the Almighty will put hand in it and bless the marriage.
For the parents of the couple, it is a life-fulfilling moment. They are confident that they have groomed children who will make an exemplary home and birth responsible citizens of the society.
He has to be patient. He has to be tolerant. And there must be love. He must be hardworking to be able to sustain his family.
My prayer is, may Allah bless their matrimonial home. We want to see our grandchildren.
The all-radiant bridegroom outlines the bride's virtues that attracted him.
She's admirable, she's patient, she's caring, and she's loving.
250,000 naira is the bride prize. Chimdema Undubisi, NTA News.
And from Nasarawa, we now move to Maiduguri, where Governor Babagana Umaram Zulum has assured Borno residents of more dividends of democracy and strengthened agriculture for food security. The governor gave the assurance while speaking to journalists at Muhammadu Buhari International Airport, Maiduguri, shortly after his arrival. Mohammed Goni reports.
Cutting across age and gender converge on the airport to welcome the governor. Notably, the Deputy Governor Umar Usman Karafur, members of the State Assembly led by the Majority Leader Dige Mohammed, Secretary to the State Government Bukar Tijani, members of the State Executive Council, and other political appointees, as well as top government functionaries. Also at the airport to receive the governor were politicians and members of the business community, among others. Speaking to journalists, Governor Zulum stressed commitment to enhance food production.
Government from here up to the end of my administration will concentrate on farming, expand area to be cultivated and ensure that there is increased food production in the state.
Zulum also described attack on Goza community as sabotage and commiserated with the people of the state.
We are looking forward to seeing how we shall resettle people back to their communities. And our people, I think, some don't like the resettlement agenda of Borno State. And I want to appeal to the people of Goza that they should remain calm.
On the 2024 Hajj, the governor had this to say.
This is one of the best Hajj operations in recent times. As far as I'm concerned, pilgrims from Borno State were airlifted from Maiduguri to the Holy Land, and from the Holy Land to Maiduguri as at when due.
From the airport to Government House, both young and old line up to give the governor a rousing welcome. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
Senegal prepares to end all military relations with France. Kulo Mohammed brings us details of this and more on Global Updates.
A few days before President Diomaye Faye was sworn in,
he had a phone conversation with President Macron of France. These, according to French media, assured France of continued military presence in Dakar, where it occupied a large army base. Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko recently raised the possibility of closing French military bases in Senegal. Senegal's President Bassirou Diomaye Faye, in an interview on Sunday, said he is willing to discuss the question of French military presence in his country with serenity and without brutal ruptures. As President Paul Kagame and 2 others are in the race for president, with polls set to open Monday morning. According to the National Election Commission, 9.5 million registered voters are eligible to vote. Kagame, who has been in power since 2000, is almost certain to win a 4th term, according to political commentators, based on his nationwide support. He won the last election in 2017 for a 7-year term with more than 98% of the votes, according to official figures. He is in the race again after a 2015 constitutional amendment which allows him to run for 3 more terms, but shorter term of 5 years, starting in 2024. Kolo Muhammad, NTA News.
Now to our Olympics countdown. It's now 12 days to the 2024 Olympics, and Bade Adeleye continues with a countdown to the games as we take a look at a sport that could land Nigeria as much as 6 gold medals in Paris.
Welcome to the Paris 2024 Olympics countdown. Today, we turn our attention to wrestling, a sport that holds lots of medal hopes for Nigeria. Wrestling delivered Nigeria's only silver medal in Tokyo, and Paris 2024 brings another opportunity to increase the tally.
100% positive, being the fact that I'm also a patriotic Nigeria. You see, you look at the angle that these guys go into the mat every day and night to wrestle and put finishing touch to their expertise as professional wrestlers. And the person who is the Federation President, the champion, world champion, Honorable Daniel Igale, has really done so much to boost the morale of these athletes.
You know, having a leader like Daniel Igale who has been there winning gold for Nigeria and Canada, of course, you expect that the rest of the athletes who are under his leadership will also want to toe that direction, being celebrated in that magnitude. So for me, I'm very, very optimistic. I'm optimistic about Team Nigeria. I'm optimistic about Nigeria Wrestling Federation. Passport always put us back there, put us up there on the maps.
Representing Nigeria are 6 wrestlers made up of Tokyo Olympic silver medalist Blessing Oborododo, the African champion Odunayo Adekworoye, and military world champion Hannah Robin. Others are African champions and Olympics debutants Esther Kolawole and Christiana Ogunsoya, as well as Ashton Mutowa, who will compete in the men's freestyle.
The athletes are prepared adequately, in my view. They will be going there not to participate, but to compete. And you know, when somebody competes, it's for medals.
I've been in the camp for a month plus, and at this point, I'm ready to face anything. So I'm going for a gold medal.
By the special grace of the Almighty God, this is my first time appearing at the Olympics, and I'm hoping I'm going to give out my best at the Olympics and finish with a medal at this Olympics.
The wrestlers began their pre-Olympic training in Spain and will round off in Germany before moving to Paris. Wrestling event at the 2024 Olympics runs from 5th to 11th August 2024. That's the countdown for today. I am Bade Adeleye.
Thank you, Bade, and we look forward to a great outing. And that's the news segment. Captain Claire has more. To stay on the line.